Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I thought today I would do some work with you guys in the Christmas journals that I've been working on. I haven't done a lot. I've just gotten the papers together and I've gotten ruffles and stuff like that put on the sides. So I'm going to actually start to fill up some pages. This is a piece of fabric that I cut out from an old, you know how people used to make, they sold fabric that had patterns on it that you would cut out and like make a pillow or something like that. That is what this was. And I think what it would have been is an ornament, because in it there was like a mirror image, so you'd have it on one side and it on the other, and then stuff it with something and hang it from a tree. That's what I'm guessing. I only have little bits and pieces of it left, and so the directions weren't available for me to look at. I've decided to put it on this page, and the way I'm going to put it down, I thought about putting it on paper, but and see, now as I do it, I think maybe I should, but I don't want to, because I like the pinking sheared edges, and I don't want to have to do that again, and I think it'll be fine without it. But I do need somewhere to be able to glue it down. So I'm going to use this piece of paper here and just add a couple of pieces of paper to the back side. And I'll use that for my, where I adhere it, I guess. And I want to put it down like kind of like a tuck. So I can put something here and then something down here. And then it'll also kind of keep it, you know, give it a little bit of strength for holding something, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think I want to, oh gosh, I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to hot glue it. So I'm going to let that sit there for a second, and because my hot glue is warming up. And I want to use this Christmas card as a tag. I think that would be cute. So, and it's never been used. And so I thought, actually, I'm going to save this. I thought about putting it in just as it is, as a Christmas card. But I've decided to keep the second part of it as, you know, another thing to use somewhere in the journal, because it has a cute little picture on it and everything like that. So I'm just going to save that for somewhere else. And then I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. It's going to be a large tag, but totally doable. I think that's probably, I'm just going to do a hair bit more. And I don't know, you know, I don't want to mess up that part of it though. Okay, hold on. Let's get a little off of this side. He looks good. So you guys, I'm so busy this week. Long story. We at church, we have been renting a place for ever and a day. I think when I started going there, they had already been renting the location for several years. And so my guess is maybe 12 to 15 years of, maybe not 15, 12 or so years of renting at this place. And where we've been renting is, it's in one of those senior living communities, and they have a building that is for their community to use. I think I want a bit more, but I don't want to cut that. I'm just going to trim just a little bit more, but leave I want it a little bit more of an angle. It's going to be hard to match that, I know. Anyway, one of those communities, and they had a building that they weren't using the whole part. So we've been renting the half that they don't use for a long time. But that's kind of an uncomfortable feeling because you could be displaced at any moment. Over the years, it's gone from a month-to-month rental to they gave us like leases, like a 2-year lease, a 1-year lease. They've given us leases. Well, all of a sudden, they quit giving leases, and now we're back on month-to-month. And it feels like they have a plan, you know, like they're going to want to use it again, and so they're going to end up kicking us out, which is fine. It's their building, you know. But when it's kind of scary when you're not quite sure where to go, and the area that this doesn't have a lot of options for rental spaces or just to buy a building to make a church, like a church building, traditional kind of church building with. We would love for it to have walls and all this. Well, anyway, several years ago, we bought land, and we're like, okay, we bought the land. We saved money for that, bought the land. We'll build a building on it. And so we started saving money for that. And so we're, it's a non-denominational church, and anything that happens within it is funded by us. It's not like there's a hierarchy of people. If there's something to happen, it has to happen through us, if you get what I'm saying. And so lots of saving, lots and lots of saving. And but then, so we started looking at actually getting the process started. We had saved enough money to be able to get going on it. And you guys, what a headache dealing with all of the regulations on this particular type of property, and it being a commercial property, different regulations altogether. Nightmare after nightmare, and running into water issues because it was an area where I'm not inking, but this needs something around it. Let me see. Well, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. My hot glue should be warmed up. We had to drill a well, so water rights and stuff. We had to drill a well. The well wasn't producing, like, seriously no water. And so when you have a property like that, you have to be able to guarantee, like, if there's a fire, you can, you know, there's enough water available to put the fire out and all this kind of stuff. And to dig another well, to try and dig another well, it was thousands of dollars in the first place. So trying to do it again, it was just not working out. So we've been searching and searching and searching and to find a building. And I'm going to wait to finish that. And I'm going to go back here to the other thing I was going to do. What was that? We'll finish this in just a minute. I want to maybe sew all at the same time. Keeping my place marked. Sorry about the clearing of my throat. I've been rewatching old videos of mine lately and noticed that I do that a lot. Very frustrating, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is another piece of fabric that I had that has little bits and pieces still on it. So this was obviously a wall hanging idea. And I thought I would make a journaling card out of it to put into this pocket. Okay, where am I in my story? I don't remember. The water. And so we started looking for places, and again, it's an area where it's kind of like industrial. So there are warehouses that were gigantic and very expensive. You know, we don't have $1 million to buy a building with. Just not happening. And so we found a place and we bought it. we were able to pay cash for it, which was great because of all the saving, and then some very generous people just gave. And so we are working on moving into it. Over the last couple of months, we've had a couple of the people who are good at carpentry type stuff have been putting in flooring and like wainscoting and all the trim and new doors. It had been used, I don't even know what was used for at the beginning, but the last thing it was used for was like a storage place for a computer, I don't even know, what do you call it? Servers. So there were just shelves and shelves of computers. I don't understand that kind of stuff, but I guess servers. And so it was dirty and not taken care of. And I mean, we just had to tear everything out and kind of go new. But the walls were good. Anyway, so yesterday, well, this week, the guys who've been doing all the work finished. And they're like, okay, you can clean it up now. So my job this week has been to get a cleaning crew together. And so I spent all day yesterday cleaning. I'm backing this with white paper because I feel like, it's too see-through and it'll make it pop. So yeah, I cleaned all day yesterday with a couple of people, and I'm going back very soon this morning with some other people. And I think actually it's going to be done today as far as the cleaning goes. And then we have to work on moving in. But I'm really, like, my back is really tired. Really tired. So some of the things I was doing yesterday, I'm going to have to let somebody else do today, so I don't hurt myself again. Okay, so this one, I'm thinking I'm going to use art glitter glue and put it kind of just right where my lines are. I'm going to sew all the way around it. Of course, I haven't used this morning, or probably even yesterday. I don't think I did any crafting yesterday. I don't remember. I might have cleaned up a little bit in here, thinking about what I was going to do today. So, but yeah, we're excited about having our own building. And what we were renting didn't have rooms. So it's just a big room with a couple of bathrooms. And so to like have a children's class or something like that, we would have to be really quiet while there was like an adult class going on. So everybody was having to be quiet for one another. It's no fun for kids in a Bible study to not be able to sing their fun little songs and just be silly and play and giggle and all the things that kids, should do when they're learning. And I've been, a teacher for that. So I would have to like, you guys be quiet. And that's, that's not fun for anybody. So now we're going to have a couple of classrooms for noise and appropriate age learning for these poor kids. So I look forward to that. And to be able to decorate the walls. We had to be really careful, for the kids' classrooms. We had a couple of bulletin boards that we would put up and be able to put stuff on them. But now we can just put stuff on the wall. It's our wall. That's off just a little bit. So I'm just tacking it down because I'm going to sew around it. But I like much better how it's bright. And it's loose in the middle, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. Okay, and then I want to add, I'm going to add paper on the back so that it can be written on. And I have this piece which is a offcut, and it fits really well. And look, okay, I'm so glad I looked because there's an upside down. Of course, I'm going to be covering it, so maybe it doesn't matter. Try and sort of center it. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. That was probably really loud. So the job today, oh goodness, yesterday I cleaned really gross bathrooms. Yummy. Gotta love that. I'm going to sew around this one individually and this one individually because they're kind of in different places, and then I'll glue them together. But the bathrooms are all clean now, so that's great. But we have to get the glue scraped off of the flooring that we put in a couple of areas, and oh, it's back breaking. That's why my back hurts so bad today. I'm going to sew these things that I've prepared, and then actually thinking, no, I'm going to add this one separate. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I turned off the camera and I did my sewing, and I looked at the clock and realized I had to leave because I was supposed to meet people at the new church building at 10 for more cleaning. So I just got back. We're done. I'm so glad. I'm not as worn out as I was yesterday, but I'm tired, but that's okay. It's a good tired. I feel like I accomplished something today. Okay, so what I did was I sewed out around the edge, and then I zigzagged around in here. I think it would have been nice to do a red stitching, but the red, or even a green one, but I don't feel like I have the right color because these are very kind of, they're like a deep green or a deep red, and I just have the more bright colors. So I decided to just stick with my brown. Oh, and I sewed around this, just around the edge, and I sewed around what will be on the back for writing space. I think we'll do some Fabri-Tac. I get so hungry when I go out to do something, and I think, oh, I should stop and get something, and oh, I don't want to stop, and I should bring myself something, but I didn't have anything to bring with me. My grocery shopping habits are not good. When the kids moved out, my poor husband and I'm not going to say we nearly starved, because that's never a problem. There's always junk food, but that is a problem. I don't know. It's easier to cook dinner and stuff when you have children that you have to take care of. Anyway, we still get a dinner, but when it comes to things like breakfast foods or lunch foods, it's slim pickings around here. Anyway, so I got home and I was so hungry. And so I made myself, I have some like chicken in a can, so I made some chicken salad and just put it on a slice of bread and some cheese and some of those, I think they're called pepperoncinis or whatever. And when I'm really hungry like that, I eat way too fast. And then I don't feel so good. So right now I'm feeling a little icky. Like maybe I should have eaten slower, but that's all right. It'll go away. I'm kind of like a little pep in my step because of being finished with the cleaning. I'm so happy about that. because it was a lot of work. I think I said that we were having to clean. So we put down those vinyl plank flooring, and there was a lot of glue seepage, and that was backbreaking, kind of not fun at all work, except for, you know, chatting with people while you're doing it. That's nice, you know, to not be doing it by yourself. But not a job I want to do really ever again. But yeah, totally happy to be done. I called the people who have been doing, you know, the construction of everything, not really construction, but, you know, laying the new carpet and putting the flooring down and doing that sort of thing. I called them and let them know that we were done cleaning, and he was really surprised. I'm like, well, my job was not nearly as involved as, you know, what he was doing. I have this adorable button, and I'm not sure where it came from, but I feel like I got it in a Happy Mail. Okay, wait, I need to go from here first. I thought it would be really cute to have it just kind of off the side, but I want it so that I think my threads don't show on this side, so I think we'll go over here just a little bit. And hopefully, one bit of stitching is fine. It's not like it's going to be holding a jacket closed or anything. It's just a decoration. And when I glue it down, I'll glue it this direction so that my threads don't peek out. And then I have something I'm going to put behind it too. I think it'll be really cute. See if my glue, I came back in here and turned my hot glue on. Let's see, first we'll get that stuck down. I did a little bit of zigzag stitching on this tab, but I mean, you can't see it very well, but it's there. Just get this side so it's not too floppy. Okay, and then I have this that I found at either a yard sale or a thrift store. Who knows when? It's been a while. I've been collecting this stuff now, and I thought it would be cute to put it behind this tree. And I don't know if I'm not sure how I want it. That's why I cut a lot. I didn't know if maybe I would just kind of I was thinking if I wrapped it around a little bit, it would have a little less floppiness to it. The button wouldn't be as floppy. And then I could sort of tie it in a knot. These things, it's not easy to tie these things because you start pulling on the wrong string, the wrong little bit. Let's see, I think I'll go down here also. And then, and then just have them hanging. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, just a little tighter, and then I went to Michael's. I told you in my last video, I think it was my last video, I went to Michael's the other day, and they are getting more paper crafting stuff again. I don't know if that's because of Joanne Fabric leaving, but they actually had little packets of ephemera. I didn't buy any of them, but they have them, so we'll see. We might be able to find some stuff at Michael's once again before too long. Okay, I think that's cute. And then, of course, the lots of space on the back. I should stick a sticker on there. I meant to kind of look through my stickers. I'm not quite sure where they are, but I might add a sticker to the back of it at some point. Okay, let's see how that looks on our page or in our pocket. You know what? I didn't even test the size of that paper. Oh my goodness. What luck. So I think I'm gonna take a ruler and just, sometimes when I know there's a little tightness, I'll stick my thin little ruler down and kind of break the glue seal to let things slide in easier. If you watch my channel, you know I put enough glue for, it's not a problem, I guess. Cute. And then that sticks out the back side a little bit too, so I like that. All right, so there's one thing done, and then this I stitched around, but let's go ahead and glue this down. There was a bow. I have this little bag of bows that I don't know where I got them, but I have a little bag of bows, and so I thought a little bow would be really cute right here. So let's do that. I'm just going to poke something underneath real quick so that when I glue it, it doesn't, try to see which side I like better. I don't know, maybe I don't like that bow the best. Where did they all go? Oh, here they are. There's a gold one in here, but it's really fat, and I'm afraid it'll put a hole in the page over here, so. Well, it's kind of funny. I was thinking it was lopsided. One side of the bow was longer than the other. I guess that's just the way they are. Maybe, I feel like they were machine made, and so maybe, you know, machine tied. So maybe that's just the way it's gonna be. Oh, strings. Okay, so the little tuck spot is going to have plenty of, well, it'll hold this no problem, but plenty of room to be able to add more, or, you know, take something from one place and put it here. Let's see, I want to add that's not the one I want. I want this. And I purchased, I was looking, so I used to have, but I've used them all up, some brushed gold eyelets. And I was looking on Amazon and they didn't have any more, but I found regular gold and they said 3/16 on them. And I was like, wait, is that what we use? So I'm looking at the Crocodile, and the Crocodile says 3/16 on it. It says 1/8 or 3/16. And that's what it said on Amazon. However, the thing doesn't seem to work real well. It doesn't seem to like fit the crocodile real well. So I went back onto Amazon and ordered one of these that says it's for 3/16. I've not tried to use it yet. Do I try and use it for the first time on this? I mean, it should work, right? Do I do it? And then even the hole, the 3/16 hole, isn't the same, you know, it doesn't fit well. Like, that's way bigger. However, it does go in and it doesn't flop around, making it easier to put the little washer on it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this one, and you guys can see how it turns out. I mean, it worked out okay. Maybe I'll practice using this one and see if it works any differently. But I just feel like it doesn't mash it properly. I have some seam binding. That I thought I would put in, and I was thinking I would do both red and green. I had to stand up and see where I am in camera. I did that wrong. Okay. I'm probably going to have to cut these down some more there. We'll see. They're kind of long, but maybe it'll be okay. I think the green one needs to come down a little bit. Okay, so that then goes in there. Cute. And then, like I said, more things can go in, but that'll hold it. Okay, and then I have something in the other one I wanted to make. I'm gonna use the other little, what we just did, that little, I don't know, ornament. I'm gonna do one of those here. And it's, like I said, it's the other side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make a tag out of this one, and it's gonna sit on this side. But the thing I wanted to do with you guys is this one. Isn't that cute? Another piece from that fabric. And then look, there's a rocking horse. And then this fabric looks like his pajamas. I couldn't have planned it any better. So I have to say the papers that I'm using in this, not all of them, but predominantly the papers that I'm using in this journal, I got from one of my subbies, Robin. She sent me a package last year, and so I'm getting to use it in this. How, like, it totally worked out. So that was very sweet of Robin. She had no idea that she was helping me out as much as she was. So I'm gonna make a probably a I think I'm gonna do a journaling card, not a tag, and I'm gonna make it maybe that tall. Oops, it's not cutting because I'm not laying flat. I think, yeah. I really need to replace this thingy. Okay, so that will sit well within the space, and then I want to put this in it. So I'm gonna figure out my pocket height based on where this will sit within it. And I don't have this was like a scrap, and so I don't have enough space to glue my pocket around. So I thought we would do one of those, you know, fold it around the edge pockets. So first we'll give it about a 1/2 inch on either side. And then decide how tall. I think maybe if Good Tidings and Comfort shows, but leave room for some glue. So maybe right around there. It's so dark, it's hard to see my pencil mark. And now I want to use my scoreboard, and I think I need to mark it, and then I'll try and score it based on my marks. Just off the side a little bit so that there's room. And then again, I have to try and find where I marked it. I think it's right there. And if it's too tight, I'll just very lightly trim my journaling card down. I've been trying to do things a little bit different on my channel lately, just because sometimes I get in a rut and I feel like if I have only one sort of journal going at a time, I get sort of like I don't want to do it. I just wish it was finished and I don't want to look at it anymore, you know, that kind of a thing. And I would rather enjoy the process more than that. Okay, so that's too tight, so I need to trim it down just slightly. So that's why I've been, well, one of the reasons why I've been working on, you know, mixed media, and then also the idea journal, just to give my mind a break. But because of that, I have a bigger mess because I have stuff from each of those kind of out and about. Okay, that's cute. And I don't have a circle punch right here, so I think I'm going to use my whale-tailed tab punch and pretend it's a circle punch. It doesn't have to have a punch at all, but I thought I would do that. I'm going to round the corners before gluing it together because I think that's the right thing to do. Sorry about that. You guys, I drop things a lot. I'm a very clumsy person, and I've always been a very clumsy person. I remember my parents, I don't know, almost getting on to me for how clumsy I was all the time. So yeah, it's not a new thing. I bump into walls, I drop things, I stub my toes, I stub my fingers. It's not good. Stub your finger, you know, like run your finger into things. I do stuff like that all the time. I get so frustrated with myself. Dropping things is, I think, one of the biggest things I get frustrated about. Okay, this is going to need a label. Let's go ahead and glue. So I don't want to put any glue on the front of the pocket at all, only on the sides. If you've not ever made one that wraps around, it just gives you a lot more space within the pocket when you need it. And then just down here. And it hangs over just slightly, but I'm okay with that. It's kind of cute, actually. So that looks really cute, I think. I could just do, since that's right there and it might be just the right size. Is it? It's so dark, it's hard to tell if it's going to fit in there. I think it fits. Oh, you guys, it fits. Just barely. I think we'll do it off to the side. And I think it needs an eyelet because there's gold here. It needs a little gold up there too, but I'll do a smaller one. These things are always so hard to pick up. Janie, look, I'm using a washer. I used one on the last one too. Janie on her channel, she'll be putting one of these in something and she'll be like, I don't know why people don't use these. Well, they don't always come with. I told her one day, I was like, I feel terrible that I don't use them all the time. But they don't always come with, you know, the eyelets. You don't always, oh, you guys, I didn't put my backing on. That's okay. It'll still look okay. And then also, sometimes I cannot get my fingers to work to make it happen. And then I lose my crocodile on my desk. No, and then oftentimes I'll be like, oh man, I need to change it. So I'm holding it with my fingers and trying to change my settings on my crop dial. Come on. I had pulled it out too far. And then, so when I go to try and put it in, my fingers get in the way. Okay. Cute. So I need to find a label or sticker or something that has some gold in it. And I will also be backing the back of it with something, but I'll show you that in a minute. I don't know what I'm gonna put this on. I hadn't planned that far. I do have more of this white paper. And it's not perfectly cut. The way I cut it, I had to cut it a certain way because it had instructions here and there. So it's not really straight. So what am I going to do here? I think I'll measure by the skinniest part. I don't have much choice in the matter. I'm just going to move it off to the side here to cut. I've got too many things in front of me. And then this direction. All right, so I think the thing to do is to put a little bit of glue down here. Again, that we'll just sew, oh goodness, Stephanie. We'll sew around the edges. So this is just to hold the fabric in place until I sew. Move it down just a hair. It holds so quickly. Oh no. I keep trying to get it within the center of it, but it's not cut straight either, so. What would be a good, I really thought I could use this. Would it be too much? Let's see. If that were in there and that were in there, it wouldn't be too much. It would just make it all go together, right? I tell myself, I'm sure of it. So let's just do that. About there. And about there. Sorry, my paper cutter is just really handy right next to me. So I'm just gonna cut it right here so I don't have to move everything out of my way. So yeah, I was saying I have stuff for 3 different types of crafting out in my craft room right now. It's a little messy. And I'm trying not to care. Let's see. I'm going to back both of these with this. But I'll do that off camera. And I'm going to, we'll go ahead and attach this. And then I'm going to sew, what am I going to do? I'm going to attach this to my paper. Oh my goodness, it is just adorable, I think. Okay, I'm gonna sew around here and then I'm going to attach it to this, you know, to back it. Then I'm gonna sew, you know, whatever else needs to be sewn, and then I'll show you how it all looks in the page. Okay, let's see if we can't finish this up. I have some stickers. I've had these forever and a day, and they have, a couple of them have some gold things on them. And I'm thinking maybe I like this one based on its size. So they're just some, you know, to and from stickers for gifts. Okay, I don't like how the edge is square. Center to the side, off to the side just a little bit. Actually, you know what it needs? Nope. It needs something going across. And I don't know what that might be. I have some other scraps. Working with a sticker stuck to me. Where did I pull that from? Okay, I really thought I was ready. I'm gonna see if I can just cut this with scissors. Oh no, that's off. I won't be able to do the next one with scissors though. I'm thinking I don't want it to be real wide. I just want maybe a band going across. Just for something for the sticker to sit on. Okay, let's see if we like that. Let me find my sticker. I mean, I don't know. I think it's good. If I had some gold ribbon, which I might somewhere, but I don't think it's in here. And if I make it too thick, it won't go down in the pocket. I'll go ahead and just do some faux stitching on it. I did faux stitching around this. Backing it after the fact was not the right thing to do. I had to cut around everything. It made it a little difficult. Okay. We're just gonna go for it. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is where, but maybe just through the center-ish, not center, just below the center. So you see I just did some faux stitch around, and I did it on the back as well. It's kind of hard to see on that pattern, but I did. I also practiced using my other eyelet crimper, and it does work. It works actually better at crimping it nicely than the crocodile does. So I thought we could try one together. Oh man, okay, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through more of it, but I will back this also. It definitely needs it. But yeah, I practiced on this and it crimped it very nicely actually. So I thought we would do one on here. And it does have a cutter on it, a punch. I don't know, and you know, it has this thingy where you can, you know, change. It gives you, it looks like maybe 3/4 of an inch. The one thing I'm not quite sure I like about it is how wide you have to open up your hand to get a hold of it. It's really wide. So if you have a small hand, it's hard to get it all the way on there. Oh, and it comes with, it's on Amazon, and it comes with silver, gold, bronze, and kind of a, excuse me, pewter silver, kind of a dark silver. Okay, so I thought I had one out. Where did it go? I have opened those yet. Okay, where did my... I have a whole tray. There it is. My washer isn't quite centered, the hole. So we'll see what that does to it. We'll see. Yeah, see, it's hard to get my hand open that wide and still get a hold of, because when I get my hand on there, it kind of crimps it down a little bit. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it works, and it doesn't mush the inside of it quite like the crocodile does. So I do like that. No, I want red. Cute. So if you guys find, this is vintage seam binding, nothing new. Vintage seam binding makes this lovely stuff. All you have to do is, I wash it and, you know, get it wet and crumple it up and then let it dry. If I'm impatient, I'll take a hair dryer to it. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I wasn't going to do that. I was going to do a tab with this, but that's okay because I like this better. All right, you guys, I'm sure this is a long video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.